dang deal. Here we go. Tell the boys how we feel. What's going on, y'all? Hey, man, my Steelers then got the first W of the year in the first game of the season, man. It feels pretty good to start the year off with a W. Hopefully that's a good sign for the year. Many more to come. I want to go over the game and just how it went off, man. But, man. Where do we start, man? I sound like I'm just sad and stuff, but now I'm happy we got the W. But man, we end up letting them boys just run the ball and just keep running the ball, man. Breece Hall had over 100 yards. Justin Fields had, I think, about 40 yards rushing. And man, those dudes was able to just keep running the ball on us. It was just like we couldn't stop them from running, man. You know, shout out to Kenneth Gainwell for punching the ball out on special teams and, you know, getting us that turnover that, you know, changed the point in the game. And shout out to Boswell for making that 60-yard field goal, man. You know, Mr. Reliable is always dependable, man. Shout out to Boswell for that. But Aaron Rodgers obviously still has it. DK Metcalf, you know, nice acquisition for us, but dropped a couple of passes today. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Jonnu Smith ended up getting in the end zone. Calvin Austin ended up getting in the end zone. Jalen Warren ended up getting in the end zone. Ben Skoranek ended up snatching a touchdown pass out of there. I really was liking what I was seeing from Aaron Rodgers, willing and dealing today, man. If we can just figure out how to keep him up off the ground consistently, that'll really just take our offense, you know, to stay where it's at, man. It's been so long, you know, since Big Ben, since we've had somebody that can just wheel and deal like we seen Aaron Rodgers today and come up with those touchdown passes like he was doing today and getting the ball to our weapons. I know a lot of people are probably wondering why, dang, man, we didn't see Roman Wilson getting there at all. And Ben Skoranek was getting, you know, more of those snaps for, you know, our third string wide receiver. But from what I've seen today with Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth and Calvin Austin and DK Metcalf, I'm really happy with what we got on the outside and, you know, our playmakers. As far as the run game on offense, I just think that we didn't get as much as we wanted to get on the ground today. Seeing as how we ran the ball about 20 times. Jalen Warren ran the ball 11 times, and then Kenneth Gainwell had another 7 rushes. Jalen Warren only having 37 yards. Kenneth Gainwell only having 19. You know, that's not good at all, you know, and it's not consistent at all. We need more than that, but from what Rodgers did, man, it just goes to show, man, I got to be honest, he look old out there. He really does, but he can still sling that thing and put it wherever he wants to, man. And it's just had me kind of thinking to myself, like, man, what if we would have had him, like, maybe 5 years ago? Because you can clearly see he know how to move in the pocket. It's just Father Time is, you know, he done played all these years. Obviously, he has ended his career at 42 years old, you know. Majority of the quarterbacks is way younger than that. So that, you know, I'm real happy with how we came out today, came out swinging, man. It looked great. But as far as the defense goes, man, Cam Hayward, I don't know if it's because of him sitting out all of this time, you know, we're so worried about his contract and things like that. And kind of his words kind of came back to bite him, you know, seeing as how, like, he told Aaron Rodgers, you either want to be a Steeler or you don't. And Aaron Rodgers, you know, came in and he's been a Steeler. And it's almost kind of safe to say that Cam Hayward was a little bit more of a distraction this offseason than Aaron Rodgers was. But, hey, man, it's all good. We got the victory today, 34-32. Justin Fields, man, I have to go ahead and tip my cap to my guy Justin Fields, man, for the way he played from start to finish, man. First drive, you know, them running the ball, getting a field goal on that first drive, him coming out on a second drive, him connected with Garrett Wilson. It just kind of makes me wonder, what if we would have given him the reins, you know, all offseason and let him develop as a quarterback and play all through OTAs as a starter and all through training camp as a starter and not be splitting reps with Russell Wilson like he did last year, because dude played phenomenal today. Like, he played phenomenal today. And he I don't even think he had any turnovers in this game. He didn't throw no interceptions. He didn't have any fumbles. He took 1 sack for 6 yards. Shout out to Alex Highsmith, down there in the red zone. He ended up forcing them to getting a sack on him. And man, I think that was probably the same drive where he ended up doing that boot. And I don't see how the defense just fell for that. I knew he was going to run out the back door, and he ended up, high kneeing all the way into the end zone. But like I said, we ended up still taking a dub at the end of the day. So I'm pretty happy with that, man. Like I say, the defense, man, for a long time I was kind of thinking that Arthur Smith, through like the second quarter and like the third quarter, the play calling was a little vanilla, I thought, but it was really just because the run couldn't seem to be effective at all. Jalen Warren only averaging 3 yards on the ground. Kenneth Gainwell only averaging 2 and some change on the ground. But hey, still here, we still managed to get the W today, and that's all you can ask for. I hope next week, whenever we play against the Seahawks, we ain't seeing 32 points be put on the board. Hopefully we see, if we do see it be put on the board, it's because Aaron Rodgers and Pat Freiermuth and them boys end up putting it on the board, not the Seahawks coming to Acrisure and throwing it on the board. I really miss saying Heinz Field, man. That was such a cool name, but Acrisure Stadium, But hey, man, I'm glad my team ended up getting a W today. We gonna see how I go next week, man. Want to look at let me just kind of glance over these box score numbers a little bit. Like I said, Jalen Warren 11 for 37, Kenneth Gainwell 7 for 19. Kenneth Gainwell, I kind of like. He seemed like he was running a little bit more north than south. The one thing like Jets offense, man, them playing on the edges, making sure those stretches and rollouts with Fields, man, that was something I was wishing we could have, but, Aaron Rodgers is a lot older now, so it is what it is. But I'm going to go ahead and catch this Bills and Ravens game later on this evening, and we're going to see how that goes, man. It's great to be 1-0, and we're going to try to go be 2-0 next week whenever we play against the Seattle Seahawks, man. It's your boy. I hope y'all check me out. Peace.